Hello and welcome everybody back to the League of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Kebablord here, and well, as you can see, it's a new project. I announced it already quite a while ago that I'm tempted to start a new series, additional to Anno 1800 of course, and I've chosen Stronghold Crusader HD. Fun fact, that is actually where my nickname comes from, because it was the name I have given the Arabian lord that I'm playing as. So, yeah, Stronghold Crusader is a real-time strategy game with a very strong economic component, and I've spent so much of my childhood in this game. And yeah, I'm now planning to do several series about that, and as you can see I'm playing in the version 1.41, which comes together with Stronghold Crusader Extreme, and the unofficial Crusader patch 2.14. Basically that means that the AI has a lot of issues fixed, the speed is now way higher, can now be adjusted to a way higher maximum than beforehand, so we can also speed up the game when it becomes necessary. And there's also a thing, over the past months it has been one of my private projects to also mod the AI a little bit. So additional to their changed behavior by the unofficial Crusader patch, they also build different castles now with, well, designs that I have envisioned. And I tried to strengthen the character a little bit while also making the AI more competitive by giving them a little bit of better economy, streamline them a bit more, increase their defense and so on. So, in long term, I plan on doing an AI tournament series where I let AI players fight each other, heavily inspired by the German YouTuber Udwin. If you are speaking German and yeah, have a preference for very, very, very bad humor, I highly recommend checking him out. And his Stronghold series are great. I really enjoyed watching them. And yeah, my spin on it is that we are going to fight with my own AIs. But before that is happening, I plan to do a series where I'm going to introduce each AI character. So I'm going to fight each AI character in an episode each, so that you get to know them better, what to expect, and also I can tell you a little bit what I thought when designing their castles and so on. And yeah, once that series is complete, we can start with a tournament thing. And yeah, to avoid the issue that the late game becomes a spam fest of horse archers, I will put some limits onto myself, and the main limit will be that I'm only allowed to use the units that the AI opponent that I'm fighting is using. And the second limit is that I'm also only allowed to go for the same economic strength by limiting myself in the amount of housing buildings that I'm allowed to do. So here we have all the AIs that we can go for. You can see they're 16 in their numbers. That means 16 episodes before we can start with the tournament. And we will start in the top left with a rat. So we will go through with a rat, snake, pig, wolf, yeah. Just here until Richard, then we go for Frederick until the abbot. So yeah, everything quite easy. And the rat is the weakest enemy in this game, so that also allows me to explain a little bit more about the economical stuff, because well, with the enemies getting stronger, it allows me to build more economy up, and I can explain how the mechanics of the game works, at least for those who did not spend their childhood with Stronghold. So let's go for the rat. So we are going to start on opposite sides, 2000 gold each, and yeah. So here we have our little keep, some starting units like our archers and slaves, and here we have our resources. And of course the popularity is falling because the people are very unhappy right now. So I'm going to extend our stockpile a little bit, build a marketplace so that we can trade resources. Check, as we can see, popularity is low because we have no food, because we did not build a granary yet. But before I'm going to placing that, I'm building another structure, the barracks. I'm just trying to go for a little symmetrical build. So, and now there's the granary. I know that the rat can only build 2 houses, so I'm going to do that as well. And on the opposite side of the granary, we are going to build... Oh no, not on the opposite, right here. and expand it by another slot. So, first we need building materials. Here we can see our 3 peasants that are going to take over some jobs. So we need some building materials. 3 woodcutters should be enough. And also some stone production. We are going to use the stone for trading, so that we get money for new units. And one of the unique spins of Stronghold Crusader is you are actually working with very large armies, but for most units you have to create weapons first. For example, for an archer you need to create bows first. And for spearmen, of course, spears. So that is what we are going to do right now. Yeah, I'm going to do that before showing the Castle of Red. So, with 2 houses we have only very limited resources available. We have 18 peasants available. So, I'm going to spend 6 of them in weapons production. Now we have to wait for a little bit of wood to come in, or we just buy it. I mean, we have more than enough gold. It's not like that the playstyle of a red is very gold intensive. Okay, so 3 Fletchers and 3 pole turners for spear production. And now, of course, our food is not, well, it's not going to last very long, so we also have to build a little bit of food production. But for the low amount of workers that we have, 5 apple orchards are more than enough. And as you can see, I'm also not only limiting myself to the amount of, to the kind of units that the enemy is allowed to build, but also to the building types. So I can only use the same towers and the same economic buildings and so on. And yeah, time to go for a defensive turret, where we can put our archers on. And in the background you can hear some thunder, maybe, because, well, here's a thunderstorm right now, but that does not stop me from recording. So time to move our archers up there, so that they get a little range advantage, and also they take less damage. So, and this is the Castle of the Red. As I said, weakest enemy. And as you can also see, only 2 houses. Here you see the productions. Also, 1 quarry, a few woodcutters. Yeah, actually not that much. Also limited to archers and spearmen. And yeah, what I was thinking when designing the castle is actually quite simple. In the original version of the game, the red, well, the stuff he builds looks like being done from a drunken child. And that was really ugly, and it was so inefficient. I mean, there were several, I think it was 2. Yeah, it was 2 castles that weren't even close where you could just walk in, so that's incredibly bad. And I decided to make the red a little bit more competent, and not only by increasing the defensive capabilities, by building an actual castle, like something that looks like you would build it in the first half of a campaign of a first Stronghold game. That was also one of my goals, to make it look a little bit more familiar. But also by making the red, because he attacks with quite some swarms of cheap units, make them stronger by allowing the red to build gardens and in general positive things for a fear factor, so that the incredibly weak attacks of the red are at least to some degree threatening.
We await orders. Recruits needed, sire.
But of course it's still completely weak, so just having like 15 to 20 archers positioned in a not so super bad way is already more than enough to get rid of the enemy units. So I'm going to build here 2 more towers for defensive capabilities. I'm also going to put some archers on there. And then basically everything that I need as a castle to fend off the red is done. Oh, a single archer is attacking me. Oh well, and a few spearmen to attack me early, but well, time to increase the speed. Yeah, the archer is slightly off of range. So, and as we can see, the spearman did not get far. We can sell all the stone, because we don't need it. Now come on, give me more bows. Oh yeah, and I'm also going to set the rally point for the units. For those who don't know, you can actually set rally points with the barracks and the mercenary outpost by using the number keys. Yeah, this is number 8, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And same as also for the mercenary post, you just press the number and then you have a flag on your mouse cursor and can just place it.
A message from the rat.
Frightened? The glorious forces of Diffuse will brush you aside. As I would brush a fly from my arm.
Oh, there we can see the mighty attack of the raid. So many cheap units. Yeah, well, that is going to be a slaughter. So my strategy in this case is just survive long enough until I have a strong army and can simply storm the castle with cheap units.
Message from the rat.
The world has gone crazy. I should have destroyed you.
Yeah, totally not. So, to not drag it out for too long, I'm going to increase the game speed a little bit. Thanks to the unofficial Crusader patch. Yay!
You can count on us.
It does a few things. Okay then. And
You can count on us.
A message from the rat.
oh, next attack, and as we can see it has gotten larger.
Your nemesis will soon triumph over your so-called army.
That is actually a core weakness of the more recent Stronghold games, including Stronghold 2, Stronghold Legends. Stronghold 3 unfortunately did not have a proper AI and not a skirmish mode. But yeah, Stronghold Crusader 2 also has the same issues, that the attack waves of the AI are always of the same size. While here in the first Stronghold they are increasing every time. Here you can see it's getting larger every time.
The glorious forces of Diffuse will brush
Yeah, I mean the rat is now dealing with over 100 units. Okay, I have over 200 units now. And in the original game it would go until around 240, 250. And via the unofficial Crusader patch you can actually remove the limit. So over time the attacks are scaling up so that even the rat can attack with up to 1000 units. Which is just awesome. And can make AIs that previously were more defense focused way more powerful. Because, well, in the original game when they had already like 120 units for the defense, that means they only had 120 left for attack forces. And now they can use way larger attack forces. I'm especially looking at the Wolf and Richard the Lionheart. Well, okay, Richard did not have much of a defense, but you get my drift. Richard, when having enough resources, can scale up so hard that he's launching later incredibly strong attacks. But yeah. So, come on, come on, come on.
You can count on us. You can count on us.
I'm of course not going to send in my defense for attack, but yeah. 71 archers is not as much as I want yet.
Not enough goods. We await orders.
But we are getting there.
A message from the rat.
Oh, the next attack.
The glorious forces of Diffuse will
And the numbers are dwindling. Well, again, still a massacre, because those units simply have no armor. If there would be all swordsmen, armored swordsmen, then I might have an issue. So that will also be heavy with when we get to Richard the Lionheart, because he has so weak defensive means that fending off his attacks will be incredibly hard. I'm not allowed to use modes, crossbowman, pitch, though I can use engineers with pitch then, but that can only do so much. So yeah, that is going to be intense in 7 episodes. Oh, and the next attack is coming.
You impudent upstart. I shall take great delight.
And that is also something that I noticed. When redoing the castle of an AI, you have so much control about how the AI is behaving, because with just shortening the transport routes, because well, every person living in your castle is fully simulated. They have a workplace, they get resources, go to their workplace, rework that, then bring it to the final storage, then go back to the stockpile, get the next piece of resource, and so on. So keeping those short determines how quick the enemy can attack, how quickly they scale up, and yeah, you see the frequency when on high speed. And that is something that I could use for many other AIs, especially the Sheriff is now incredibly dangerous.
Not enough goods. We await orders.
And it will surprise you if you are used to the standard Sheriff. That much I can already tell you.
You can count on us.
Really looking forward to demonstrating that. I just noticed I'm also not really looking forward to playing against Sultan Abdul. He has no food production. That is going to be painful. Oh my god.
You can count on us.
Well, I'm pretty sure I will find a way. But yeah, army recruitment should now basically be done. I mean, there's no way we can fail at this moment because the AI is so incredibly weak. The wolf also has the potential to be interesting, though there a lot more stuff for me is allowed, but the wolf is just a strong enemy.
You can count on us.
Okay then, now our army is marching. And it is quite huge, as I might admit, and that sounds wrong, but well, I like it huge, so whatever. So, and there comes the army of the rat. And you can see the rat is now at 178 people, so soldiers. So the scaling actually works. But it also means the rat has no defensive units. Well, the offensive units are not defending the rat anymore. So, perfect timing for an attack!
A message from the rat.
Panic, Ratty. No.
So, you will focus on the other side. And you will block the gate to make sure that the enemy is not coming out of it.
Are going well, aren't they? Things
So you will go here.
must be moving up. Arrows ready.
So, and the AI is now so stressed out that they were already destroying their own economy buildings in order to get a bit more of gold to buy more defensive units, but that is of course totally not helpful here. Especially since I'm killing off all their peasants so that they can't recruit.
You can count on us. Where are we going? Always ready.
So yeah, this is actually quite effective as a means to defend the gate. The path to it is so small that only a single unit can attack at the same time, so I have to give several orders.
A message from the rat.
And yeah, now I can simply storm the enemy.
A message from the rat.
Please. Don't hurt me, please.
But yeah,
Victory.
as we can see, the rat even made more money than we did and produced more food. Okay then. But yeah, we killed way more people and lost less. And yeah, that's basically it. That's Stronghold Crusader. Our little introduction. I'm really looking forward to the next episodes, and yeah. If you like this project, please give it a thumbs up. As I said, it's not going at the expense of Anno. There will still be Anno 1800 and later also the Anno History Collection, so don't you worry. And yeah, if you like it, again, thumbs up, great feedback for me. It also helps me to see how much interest there is in also doing other stuff than Anno. I mean, from the history, we have seen that stuff like Stellaris was not seen that much. And the channel was way smaller back then when I did something else, so yeah. And tell me in the comments what you think of the project and if you have any special wishes and suggestions. And we can also, of course, also discuss that in the community Discord, for which you will find an invitation link in the video description down below. And if you want to get notified whenever I upload something new, like another Stronghold video or another Anno video, then, well, smash that subscribe button and make sure that your notifications are activated. And with that, I say goodbye and see you next time. Bye bye.